I think what most people don't realize is they're like stuck in their head that I'm going to sell at 10 times ARR because that's what all these VCs are paying for my business. And you have to, I call it having an escape hatch. Like and it's funny because the escape hatch is actually the most likely outcome, right? Which is some PE fund is going to pay like 4 to 6 times, maybe a little bit more. Maybe it's 7 if you're really kicking ass. Maybe it's 8, but like optimize so that you selling at 4x is life-changing for you. Like that's got to be your baseline.
Listen, you have to realize that the investors can pay 10x because they're placing 100 bets and one's going to do 100x and they're going to cover the loss for a lot. Which is, listen, I'm not saying one way is right or wrong. I'm just saying you have to know the game you're playing. If you don't know the game, like you're going to wake up, you're going to raise $100 million and you're going to be like, cool, where are my buyers?
Totally agree with all that. And frankly, like if you just look at the history of venture, I mean, it's maybe come down a little bit, but M&A is the majority of the outcomes. And I think there are a lot of funds and investors out there these days where I look and I'm like, you've got to get like 10% of all exits in venture for this to be a good fund. It doesn't, that's not how we've architected our fund either. But I think there is also a trade-off these days of like, okay, if you're growing like 3x year over year, or, let's say you get an offer for a Series A that's multiples of what a sponsor is going to pay you, how do you measure that, right? And I think you make a really good point of like, you should look at the dilution. You should look at what that partner wants.
We were a 50% grower from essentially 20, like we became vertical SaaS, high sticky, good NRR, upsell. We became a 100% grower, 60% grower, 30, and then we kind of compounded like 30 to 50%. So like, listen, if you're growing really like 300% or 100% year over year and like you have some real revenue, not like hundreds of thousands, your world's your oyster. I'm talking to the like 95% of other people, I think.
That are growing 20%.
Yep.
Yeah, well, you have a good business, but like you got to recognize what's happening here.